At 8:39, it's time for The Beef is Real.
Well, I don't like him, and I don't have to work with people I don't like.
Patrick Vieira is 6'4", starts having a go at Gary Neville. He says, come and have a go at me.
You should have gone to Specsavers, Charlie.
Well, maybe you should go also then, Jet, because you couldn't see driving home the other night.
Don't you ever talk about me!
So I think your arguments back and forward there, Tony. That's the point.
I'm wondering...
Just let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm let you finish. It's pure constipated.
You can forget about Sean Kavanagh as far as he's a man.
If you're going to be critical, then you've got to make sure you've got something to back it up with, don't you?
Maybe the coaches were maybe panicking a little bit.
To me, you've got to have a little bit of a better record than that.
The beef is real.
This is possibly the greatest beef that's ever developed in the history of the Premier League. We have had Haaland against Roy Keane, we have had Roy Keane against Patrick Vieira, but nothing comes close to Roy Hodgson against Harry the Hornet. We're going back to Stephen's Day 2016. It is Watford against Crystal Palace. Wilfried Zaha is booked for diving by Mark Clattenburg. He goes down inside the area in the 87th minute of the 1-1 draw, but he is denied a second penalty in the match, and he is booked. It's Sam Allardyce's first game as Crystal Palace manager, and he has to settle for a point. After the game, Harry the Hornet taunts Wilfried Zaha. Have a look at this. Look at the mascot, who is highlighted here.
Oh yeah, that's him there, top left-hand corner.
And a big belly flop. Now, the camera will show us pretty soon Wilfried Zaha's reaction to all of this. A little bit annoyed, I think. Bit of a sarcastic clap. Could be worse. So this is how this whole beef starts. This is 26th of December 2016. And Zaha, obviously, brushing it off. He sees it as a joke.
But, he's pissed off.
I guess the gauntlet has been laid down by the Hornet at this moment. Sam Allardyce is not happy. He says the mascot is out of order, isn't he? If someone is diving, they don't get that angry. There's contact. It wasn't given. And then, according to a couple of newspapers, Allardyce suggests that there might be consequences for the mascot. And then he says that's up for Watford to sort that out. The Premier League and the FA can look at that and do what they want to do. Watford then decided they won't take any action against mascot Harry the Hornet following his controversial mocking of Wilfried Zaha. Walter Mazzari is one of the billion Watford coaches over the last couple of years. He's the guy in charge at that point. He said, let's laugh all together about this. Everything doesn't have to be a drama. I couldn't see the penalty incident from where I was standing. Believe me, I didn't see that. Or our penalty. It becomes a relatively big story. They talk about it in Ref Watch on Sky Sports. Dermot Gallagher is asked about it and says Zaha will argue that he is trying to incite him, but it is good that his colleagues have laughed it off. It's Christmas, isn't it? A time of fun, and maybe it is just time to calm down. And in fairness, Wilfried Zaha goes to Twitter and posts this a photo of diving judges. Harry the Hornet, though, replies to Wilfried Zaha with a picture of Len Goodman downgrading his 8 to a 7. Not everybody's taking it as a joke. One Crystal Palace fan replies to official Harry the Hornet saying, trying to mock a Premiership footballer. Nice try. Take a look at your occupation before you act. Tosser. And then in August 2018, just under 2 years later, Roy Hodgson is the Crystal Palace manager. Before a game against Watford, he is asked about it.
And Roy, the last 2 games at Vicarage Road, there have been diving controversies involving Wilf last April. He said afterwards there was an agenda against him. The previous match, Harry the Hornet was on the pitch diving behind Wilf. What did you make of all that, and has there been an agenda? Is there still an agenda against Wilf Zaha?
That's his words, not mine. I mean, if you're asking me whether Harry the Hornet, who I presume is the mascot, should dive in that way, I think it's disgraceful. Because that's not what football matches are about. And certainly if it's provoking the crowd into looking for something which isn't there, it should be stopped. Wilf Zaha does not dive for penalties. He gets knocked over sometimes. Sometimes he gets knocked over or unbalanced without it necessarily being a foul or a penalty, because he runs at such speed and he's got such agility with the ball. But he certainly doesn't dive. But of course, unfortunately, if teams try to take every advantage they can, you've mentioned the mascot, I would be very disappointed if a Crystal Palace mascot was doing something like that to provoke the crowd against an opponent. And if I found out about it, I'd stop it.
I love the bit at the start where he's like, Harry the Hornet, who I presume is the mascot. This nobody who is their mascot. Well, the news for Roy Hodgson is himself and Harry the Hornet are now one. Harry the Hornet is your mascot now, Roy Hodgson, the new Watford FC boss.
Dive away, do what you can. He had, I was looking, what was it? Kayla the Eagle was his mascot at the time. So there must have been some kind of mascot off. Mascots, I think we should have more mascots. I'm in favour of them.
Yeah,
and this nonsense.
I mean,
this is class.
Absolutely, anything they can do to rile the opposition. Who was it? There was somebody taking a free throw recently in the NBA, and they had to tell the Milwaukee Bucks mascot to get out of his way because he was waving his hands, and the referee had to instruct the mascot to walk away, and he sadly returned to the tunnel, I think.
The beef is real, but hopefully it's solved now, or else the mascot's getting fired. Who knows? That might be the first thing Hodgson does to assert his authority.
Yeah, we'll keep you up to speed on that, but that is this week's Beef is Real.